welcome to Intermissions, your backstage pass to On the Air with Florenza. You'll experience bloopers, outtakes, surprises, and all the laughter in between. Intermissions is unscripted, unfiltered, and undeniably Florenza. So put your hands together to welcome today's guest to the show. Thank you so much, Daniel, for joining me. And before we even get to our toast, I want to tell you, you've kind of got that sexy Santa look going. I don't know. Is it December 25th yet? I don't know. I want to kind of sit on your lap and tell you it all.
Well, that's fine as long as you've been a good girl. So
Listen, honey, I'm a Gemini, define good. So
that's so cute.
now you're really getting all up in my business. You're getting all up in my business. So before we get started, because I have an inkling that we are going to have a lot of fun during this
Right.
interview. I don't know if it's that you're my fourth interview for today and this is my fourth
Mm.
class, or the fact that we're just going to have fun. But we're going to toast to an amazing show. And here you go. Cheers. And
Cheers.
that looks like that's a bluebird crystal glass. Is it? It looks like a bluebird
That's
crystal.
you know what it is? It's something that I inherited from older cousins who loved to travel the world, and they picked it up in Mexico, part of a complete set, and handmade stuff, beautiful stuff. And I was lucky that my cousin, their daughter, offered me, this set to keep as a memento of my
It
older
is
cousins.
beautiful. I was just
Thank you.
recently in parts of Mexico. I was in Cozumel and um Costa. Oh, which one was it? It'll come to me in a second. Anyway, we loved it so much we want to go back and look at land. So I better hurry up and remember
Ah,
where it was. So we're going to deep dive into your book, the one that we're talking about today, Domestic Affairs, Tales of American Males. And before we do, I told you offline that I've started this new segment. Right now, I'm calling it Intermissions, but something tells me it's going to get rebranded to Happy Hour. I don't know. But it's a series of true or false questions that I have here, and I'm going to try to guess if it's true or false. And then you tell me if I'm right or wrong, and then we'll kind of chat about that. Okay?
hey,
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're such a brave man.
I trust you.
Nobody warned you. Hmm. Okay, so you hold a degree from Princeton University, Harvard Law School, and Vermont College of Fine Arts. And something tells me that is true.
It is.
Okay. Now, which degree is from which school?
Well, from Princeton, I got my bachelor's of arts, and I concentrated in politics and Russian studies
Ooh,
while I was at Princeton. And then I went on to Harvard Law School, trying to be, a good Jewish boy who either grows up to be a doctor or a
or
lawyer.
lawyer,
And I
your
was,
only two
you
options,
know,
or
terrible at
rabbi.
science. So so I was a lawyer, and I was a lawyer for a number of years and hated it. We just weren't a good fit.
Okay.
So, I thought about what is it that I really, really want to do when I grow up, and I always loved writing. And so I went back to school for a Master's of Fine Arts at Vermont College.
Ooh.
And that was a wonderful decision. It really changed my life. It opened me up creatively, artistically, gave me the tools for the next 30, 35 years of my life of writing.
How
So
much
those
of
are the degrees.
how much of what you gained in terms of your experience as a lawyer are you able to incorporate in your writing?
In terms of like specific stories and so forth, I haven't done it all that much, although there is one story in domestic affairs that is based very much on my lawyer life. I think it helped me with a sense of discipline because
Mm-hmm.
as you know, as a fellow writer, we must be disciplined. We have to keep at it, or else it doesn't, the words don't magically appear on the page. We have
Right.
to make them happen. It also helped me with developing logic and clear thinking and language because lawyers are writing all the time. But I have to tell you, after I left law, it took me a couple of years to change my style of writing
Yes.
because it was too stiff and formal, which was appropriate for a lawyer and
Mm-hmm.
business person, but not at all appropriate for a fiction writer, a creative writer. And then to learn how to relax my voice so I could be in the voices of different characters and so forth. I actually had to unlearn
Yeah.
a lot of writing skills that I had had. But I also feel, Florenza, that we never really know what experiences from the past make us the people we are today. And I
Correct.
suspect, you take out one, it's like a cake, you take out one ingredient, it may be good, but it's not going to taste the same.
Correct.
And so for life experience, I wouldn't want to eliminate anything from the past. I just wouldn't be myself if I were to do
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah, it's like a tapestry. Once you start pulling away at those strings, man, it
Yes,
unravels, no matter what, it unravels. Okay.
exactly.
Um, you just told us before becoming a writer that you were a corporate securities attorney, so I know that one to be true. Ooh, your work has been published exclusively in the United States. And I'm going to say that's false.
Correct. That is false. Yes, I've been fortunate in having a number of short pieces, primarily short stories, published in a number of countries around the world. And some of them have actually been translated into other languages. One short story was translated and published in Russia, another in German in Germany, another in Spain, and then other countries of Europe and Asia in particular, but in English. Yeah,
What
that's
was it
fun.
like to see your writings in another language? I mean, it's one thing to hold that book baby and to see this thing that you created, but what was that experience like to see it translated into a completely different language?
It's really fascinating. Now with German, I don't know German, so I couldn't read the German translation. Spanish, I could follow. I have a limited knowledge of Spanish, so that was just fun. The Russian one, where I do know Russian, that was an interesting experience because I could see some things that the translator actually changed
Oh,
and unfortunately changed and missed the point of the original. The specifics, I was having an older character in the story make reference to different countries, and they made reference to colonial names of
oh,
countries as a way of indicating that they were older and out of sync with modern times. The translator in Russian updated the names to be the correct names today, missing the point
the
of
whole
why
point.
I had had them. So it's like, okay, well, it's not it wasn't the core of the story. It was just a subtlety, but it was interesting to see that, you
Uh-huh.
know. And I have done translation work myself. I've translated some work from Russian into English, a couple of novels and short stories and essays and so forth. And I've always done it with living authors whom I've had the chance to consult with
Yes.
so I could ask questions, and sometimes the authors would ask questions of me, sort of, did you catch this and did you catch that? And sometimes I would miss something,
Oh,
so it was
wow.
very helpful. But with translation, I think it's look, it's an honor to be published, as
Yeah.
you know. It's not the easiest thing. So for someone to take the time to put it in another language and another publisher in another country to think it's worth sharing with their readership, it's great fun. It's a joy. It's a
Nice.
joy.
Okay. And let's do our last one. Your first published work was a children's book, and I'm going to say true.
No, I don't have any children's books published, but I did write a children's book for my little nephew.
Oh,
So when he for like his second birthday, I think it was, I created a book of sort of funny nursery rhymes for him. and I illustrated it with stock images from the internet and so forth. And it was called the Uncle Danny book. And so
Oh,
whenever I'd visit, I live in California. My brother, sister-in-law, and nephew live in New Jersey. And so whenever I'd visit, I have to read him the Uncle Danny book, you know.
oh,
I- so it was great fun, but it was not a published book, but it was a book from the heart.
oh, that is so wonderful. And this wraps up our episode of Intermissions, your backstage pass to On the Air with Florenza. Be sure to check out the full interview for this author as well as others on Florenza's podcast, On the Air with Florenza. And until next time, cheers.